Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Bong Huang, an undergraduate of Media and Culture Studies at Lancaster University in the UK. On my channel, I hope you summarize books and talks mainly from TED in a simple, concise way so that you can easily understand the most important bits of them, as well as to provide you with my own opinions that not only could help you to form your own opinions, but also to give you tips on creating a quality of life that leads to a successful and contented way of life. In today's video, we're going to look at a talk called Choice, Happiness, and Spaghetti Sauce by Malcolm Gladwell, the author of the famous book Blink, as well as many others such as Outliers and David and Goliath. Despite not directly addressing it in the talk, Gladwell illustrates how a breakthrough in the food industry, which is essentially and literally an increase in the choices of spaghetti sauce, has not only taught us about our weird food preferences, but also about what brings us pleasure and happiness. So now, without further ado, let's get started. It all began after receiving the results he did for Diet Pepsi, in regard to specifically people's preferences for the sweetness of Diet Pepsi, which came as a huge pile of mess. American market researcher and psycho-physicist Moskowitz was terribly confused and thus refused to accept the absurd data. Fast forward to one day in a diner before he met up with Nescafe, an idea suddenly came up to him. Or perhaps you can even call it a realization that would eventually become one of the biggest breakthroughs in the history of food science and what ultimately created one of the most popular pasta sauces of all time, while helping the company who produces the sauce to become one of the biggest soup companies worldwide. Moskowitz met up with Campbell's Soup, the case where he made his reputation, and most importantly, where the magic took place. What happened was basically Campbell's Prego sauce during that time was in an intense competition with his competitor Ragu. Though Prego was no match for Ragu and was struggling in the market, despite being far more superior in quality and appearance. So what Moskowitz did was, in every way you could possibly imagine, he made 45 various kinds of pasta sauce, gathered thousands of people to try these sauces, and told them to rate them on a scale of 0 to 100. Months had gone by and Moskowitz already had a shit ton of data, so he gathered and organized them into small clusters. Eventually, what he found was that people could be separated into 3 groups. A group who likes their sauce to be plain, another group who likes their sauce to be spicy, and another group who likes their sauce to be extra chunky. And the thing was, back in the 80s, there was no such thing as extra chunky spaghetti sauce. Prego was shocked. Not only were there no extra chunky spaghetti sauces on the shelves of supermarkets, but people also didn't even know they actually craved for this sauce until they tried it. Subsequently, of course, Campbell's Soup went back and released a line of extra chunky Prego sauce. And within the span of a decade, Campbell's earned more than $600 million just from their extra chunky Prego sauce. What is most important about Moskowitz, the Prego sauce, and his other successful cases is that he confronted the common misconceptions held by the food industry. That is, as Malcolm Gladwell says in the talk, people don't know what they want, and the most essential of all, there are no better or bad pasta sauces, nor something as the perfect pasta sauce. There are only perfect pasta sauces. At the end of the talk, Gladwell states, it is only when we embrace diversity and stop chasing for universality that we can find a better way to true happiness. Yep, whoever knew that happiness could be compared to or be discussed on the same level as spaghetti sauce? Thanks, Malcolm. Well, I really like pasta, so I certainly have nothing against that. Anyway, if you go watch this talk yourself or listened to all of what I've said until this point of the video, without skipping, you might feel that this is merely a story of this American lad and how he made one of the biggest breakthroughs in the field of food science and in the food industry. That's how I felt after watching this talk for the first time, but it's so much more than that. There are multiple things that we can take away from this talk, and the first one is there isn't a one and only way to find true happiness. All of us have different preferences for spaghetti sauce. Some of us like it plain, some of us like it spicy, and some of us like it extra chunky. Likewise, the same could be applied to happiness. What brings joy to others may not necessarily be the same as what brings joy to you. There are a lot of approaches and steps that you can take to find happiness. Nonetheless, at the end of the day, it is about what makes you happy and what sparks joy in you. And even you might be following videos on the internet for a while that tell you to do this, that, to make you feel fulfilled, but you are not, then there's no point of sticking yourself to it. Hence, we should know the importance of trying and exposing ourselves to new things while opening up ourselves to new experiences, such as that extra chunky spaghetti sauce. I think I actually might try it someday. As it is only by doing that, can we find what we truly like, enjoy, and needless to say, find happiness in. That's to say, in other words, never had you opened up yourself to the things you like now, you would probably never know how much you'd actually enjoy them. You never knew you liked that pint or cocktail until you tried that pint or cocktail. You never knew you liked that sport until you tried that sport. You never knew you liked that position until you tried it. In general, as Gladwell says, people don't know what they like. It then leaves the room for us to explore our interests and hobbies, whilst learning what works for you in terms of obtaining happiness and what does not. Whilst we keep a growth, open-minded, and flexible mindset to new experiences and not restraining ourselves in our comfort zone. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you find this video helpful. If you do, then please smash that like button below. It really helps with the algorithm. And don't forget to comment below, turn notifications, and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to learn more about happiness and the approaches that you can take to achieve them, then you might want to check this playlist out over here. And that's for today, peeps. Again, thank you so much for watching and made it to the end of this video. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.